Counterpoint, the general knowledge music quiz, chaired by Paul Gambaccini.
Hello. The second of our semi-finals in the 2023 season of Counterpoint comes from the Radio Theatre in London. I'm joined once again by three competitors who've won their heats this year with very impressive scores. Could one of our trio be destined to lift the Counterpoint trophy? Let's meet them again.
Hello, I'm Joe East from Orpington, Kent, and the last gig I went to was 10cc at the Orchard in Dartford.
Hello, my name's Kathryn Johnson. I live in Northwood in Middlesex, and my last concert was the Carols by Candlelight at Emmanuel Church, Northwood.
Hello, my name is Shanine Salmon. I'm from Croydon, and the last concert I went to was Phoenix at the Brixton Academy.
It's good to see the three of you again. May the best man or woman win. The rules haven't changed since the heats. It's musical general knowledge in the first round for 2 points per question. And if you pick up someone else's question, you'll get 1 bonus point. In the words of Ellie Goulding, anything could happen. As we ask you the first question today, Joe East. Who is this? His machine gun guitar style and manic stage presence was a major influence on punk. He found fame with the 1970s rock band Dr. Feelgood, then worked with Ian Dury before embarking on a 4-decade solo career. He starred in 2 series of Game of Thrones as an executioner.
That's the late lamented Wilko Johnson.
Whom you obviously admire. 2 points. Kathryn Johnson. Any relation?
No.
Your first musical extract is from a pioneering account of the Canterbury Pilgrims by Yorkshire composer George Dyson. This colorful oratorio from 1931 depicts assorted characters from the prologues of Chaucer's famous Canterbury Tales. Which bawdy authority on married life is this?
That's The Wife of Bath.
It is indeed. We heard the voice of Yvonne Kenny. Shanine Salmon. In November 2022, the Metropolitan in New York premiered a new opera composed by Kevin Putz with a libretto by Greg Pierce. The opera is an adaptation of a Pulitzer Prize-winning book by Michael Cunningham, which explores 3 generations of women affected by the classic novel Mrs. Dalloway. What is its title?
The Hours?
That's right. The cast was led by the impressive trio of Renee Fleming, Kelly O'Hara, and Joyce DiDonato. Joe East. In April 1915, Jean Sibelius made a special diary entry after observing a flock of birds. He found both the sight and sound of them entrancing, and he described their departure like a gleaming silver ribbon as one of the great experiences of his life. Later, he transformed that breathtaking natural moment into music. After we've heard part of a new recording by the Oslo Philharmonic of the 3rd movement of his Symphony No. 5, I'd like you to tell me what species of bird inspired him.
Hooper Swan?
That's right, the national bird of Finland. Kathryn Johnson. The character Charles Swan associates a musical phrase in the Van Toy Sonata with his love for Odette de Crécy. This fictional work is described in the novel sequence In Search of Lost Time by which 20th century French writer?
Marcel Proust.
For 2 points. Shanine Salmon. Music now from a 2023 EP released by Ben Castle and the Blah Street Band. Cut Loose, a lesson in jazz, offers a definitive explanation of what jazz is. Can you identify the actor and comedian providing the lesson?
The jazz musician likes to improvise. They play a bit of a song, and then they make stuff up as they go along, or cut loose, if you will. The word improvise improvise comes from the English word improve. Jazz musicians take existing songs and improve them by adding many, many, many more notes.
Matt Berry.
That's right, Matt Berry for 2 points. Joe East, the singer-songwriter Rufus Wainwright's second opera, premiered by the Canadian Opera Company in 2018, is based on events in the life of which Roman emperor?
Caligula?
No. Anyone else? Kathryn?
Julius Caesar?
No, it's not Julius Caesar. Shanine, would you like to
Nero?
name? No, it's not Nero. We've gone through the emperors, but we haven't gotten to Hadrian. Kathryn Johnson, music. Here's The Gallant Weaver, a work by James Macmillan with text by Robbie Burns. It's taken from the 2017 album Silence and Music by the Gabrielli Consort. After we've heard them, I'd like you to name the Gabrielli Consort's charismatic founder and artistic director.
No, you'd have to wait a long time before I remembered that.
Well, I just waited for a few seconds, and Joe has buzzed in.
John Tavener?
Oh, no, it's not John Tavener. Shanine?
I've got nothing.
Well, that's too bad, because I really admire Paul McCreish. Shanine Salmon, here's your own question. During the pandemic, what began as a short post to TikTok by a Disney fan resulted in a huge Broadway-style online musical. Emily Jacobson's Ode to Remy, about one of her favorite characters, inspired singers, actors, composers, choreographers, and stage designers to get involved in a musical project which premiered in January 2021. What is its name?
Ratatouille.
That's right, Ratatouille, the TikTok musical. Joe East, music for you. An influential British record producer recently published a memoir of his life and work in music with individual chapters named after hit records he's been responsible for. Some of the chapter titles include Poison Arrow, Mirror Mirror, Owner of a Lonely Heart, Left to My Own Devices, and one named after this song. Who is he?
I heard you on the wireless back in 52, lying awake intently tuning in on you. If I was young, it didn't stop you coming through. They took the credit for your second symphony, rewritten by machine on new technology.
Trevor Horn.
That's right, Trevor Horn. You heard Video killed the radio star. Thank God he was wrong. Kathryn Johnson. He's a friend of mine. I admire his work, but he was wrong. Kathryn. In 2020, Renee Zellweger won the Best Actress Oscar for her role as Judy Garland in the film Judy. The film is an adaptation of Peter Quilter's musical stage drama End of the Rainbow and portrays the last troubled months of Judy Garland's life. It concentrates specifically on her 5-week residency in 1969 at which iconic London nightclub that over the years hosted stars including Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., and Shirley Bassey.
The talk of the town.
That is correct. Shanine Salmon, finally in this round, here's music composed by Guy Farley and recorded by the London Chamber Orchestra at Abbey Road. A question will follow. Legacy is a suite of music inspired by the extraordinary life of the Second World War Spitfire ace and double amputee Sir Douglas Bader. Return Home, the piece we've just heard, is used to accompany Bader's Bus Company, the first air display team for people with disabilities. The suite was released on the 31st of October 2019. The date marks the anniversary of the end of which military campaign?
No, I'm going to have to pass.
And it goes over to Kathryn.
Battle of Britain.
Battle of Britain for the bonus point. And that takes us to the end of round one. Oh, we have a tie. 6 points for Joe East and Shanine Salmon. And then in the lead with 7, it's Kathryn Johnson. Because you picked subjects for the next round in the order of your scores in the first, we have to break the tie. I will ask Joe and Shanine to write down the answer to a tie-break question, then invite you to reveal it. The nearest answer will get the advantage. Here it comes. On Radio 4's Desert Island Discs, between January 1942 and December 2022, how many times have castaways chosen a guitar as their luxury item? I took a piano. Please write down your answer. And Joe, your answer is?
52.
52. And Shanine, your answer is?
179.
179. Joe is the closest. 80 is the correct answer. In the second round, our competitors have to answer individual questions on a musical category or theme, but they haven't prepared subjects of their own. Instead, they have to pick from a list which I'm about to give them, and of which they've had no prior warning. Are you ready for today's choices? Music and royalty, rock and pop songs reimagined, classical connections, when speeches meet music, and pop into British art and fashion. Kathryn Johnson, since we choose in the order of your scores at this point and you are in the lead, I give you the first choice.
Music and royalty.
And Joe East, you have the advantage in second.
Pop into British art and fashion, please.
Now that leaves 3 for Shanine Salmon, and they are rock and pop songs reimagined, classical connections, and when speeches meet music.
Rock and pop reimagined.
Shanine Salmon, here are your questions on rock and pop songs reimagined. Recorded at a different tempo and in a different key, which classic Northern soul song became a #1 for Soft Cell in September 1981?
Tainted Love.
For 2 points. Music now. Here's a British song from 1967, reimagined as an Italian aria in 2002 by the Greek vocalist Mario Frangoulis. Can you identify it?
Io ti amo, sì, ti amo, quanto ti amo, quanto ti amo.
I cannot.
It was Nights in White Satin, recorded as Notte de Luci. Which song by Oasis was adapted to the easy listening lounge style by the Mike Flowers Pops for their #2 hit in 1995?
Wonderwall.
That's right. Wonderwall was also given the big band treatment on the 2005 album Rock Swings, which contains jazz covers of popular songs. The Canadian singer-songwriter who released the album was able to reference a legendary song he'd written when he performed his arrangement of Bon Jovi's It's My Life. Can you tell me his name?
It's my life, my heart's an open highway. Frank said he did it my way. I want to live while I'm alive.
Neil Diamond?
I'm sorry, it was Paul Anka. His reference was to My Way by Frank Sinatra, for which he wrote the English lyrics. The song had been made a hit in France by Claude Francois, And I interviewed Claude a month before his death, and discussing that French hit, Comme d'habitude, I asked him if he preferred My Way or Comme d'habitude, and he said, Comme d'habitude. My Way is about the end of life. Comme d'habitude is about the end of a love affair. He died a month later. Two songs, originally recorded by Prince, were revamped to provide number ones for Chaka Khan in 1984 and Sinead O'Connor in 1990. What are their titles?
I Feel For You and Nothing Compares to You.
For the 2 points. Early in 2023, we lost the American singer-songwriter David Crosby. Here he performs an upbeat hard rock version of the song Woodstock alongside Stephen Stills, Graham Nash, and Neil Young. Their version of Woodstock is in stark contrast to the original haunting arrangement by the writer of the song. After you've heard it, I'd like you to name her.
Well, I came upon a child of God. He was walking along the road, and I asked him, tell me, where are you going? Yes, he told me. Said, I'm going down to Leicester's farm, gonna join in a rock and roll.
Janis Joplin.
Oh, I'm afraid not. Woodstock was written by Joni Mitchell. Finally, in 1991, which group merged U2's Where the Streets Have No Name with Can't Take My Eyes Off You, originally recorded by Frankie Valli in 1967?
I don't know, pass.
It was the Pet Shop Boys. And Shanine, in that round, you scored 6 points. Added to your previous 6, you now have 12 points. Joe East, let's pop into British art and fashion. In 2021, the murals which appeared along Admiralty Road, Great Yarmouth, depicting a couple dancing above a bus shelter accompanied by an accordionist, were the work of which street artist?
Banksy?
Yes. Here's some Roxy music with a question to follow.
Aggravated, spare for days. I troll downtown, the red light plays. Jump up, bubble up, what's in store? Love is the drug, and I need the score.
Love is the Drug is taken from an album with a cover which helped launch the modeling career of Jerry Hall. Photographed by Graham Hughes on rocks near South Stack, Anglesey, Hall is dressed as which mythical sea creature that's also the name of the album?
Siren?
Yes. 2 points. Dame Vivienne Westwood, the British designer who died in December 2022, became one of the UK's most revered style icons. The punk style, for which she became known in the 1970s, was instigated by her relationship with which musician and impresario?
Malcolm McLaren.
For 2 points. In the mid-1960s, fashion in Britain became increasingly daring and outrageous, driven by the youth-oriented culture of swinging London. Here's a big hit that satirized the fashion scene. Can you name the group?
They seek him here, they seek him there. His clothes are loud, but never square. It will make or break him, so he's got to buy the best, 'cause he's a dedicated follower of fashion.
The Kinks.
That's right. We heard dedicated follower of fashion. The singer and guitarist Billy Childish's name was among those featuring prominently in which artwork involving a tent by Tracy Emin?
Those I've slept with?
I am going to give you that. It's Everyone I Have Ever Slept With, 1963 to 1995. Well, Paddington. Anyway. In May 2019, a Scottish singer and musician released Lepidoptera, an EP containing 4 extemporized piano songs. The EP serves as a companion piece to her art installation, Now I Let You Go. The recording is unlike any music this artist has released during her 40-year career. Can you name her?
Annie Lennox?
Yes. You're doing very well with your guesses. Finally, in this round, in 2013, which British singer revealed she'd had her entire derriere tattooed with roses?
Adele?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Adele. It's Cheryl, formerly Cheryl Cole. And in that rose of a round, you've scored 12 points, added to your previous 6. Joe East, you now have 18 points. Kathryn Johnson, here are your questions on music and royalty. Which rock guitarist who played the national anthem on the roof of Buckingham Palace at Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth's Golden Jubilee in 2002 was knighted in the 2023 New Year Honours List?
Brian May.
That is correct. Sir Brian May,
Sir
to
Brian.
you. The funeral music for Queen Elizabeth II in September 2022 included a specially composed choral piece based on Psalm 42 by the current Master of the King's Music. When we've heard it, I'd like you to tell me who that composer is.
James Macmillan?
No, I'm sorry, it was Judith Weir.
Judith Weir.
You might say the only time when members of the royal family have reached #1 in the charts is in August 1981, when the official album of A Royal Celebration topped the British album chart for a fortnight. Which occasion did it commemorate?
It was the wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer.
That is correct. A more recent royal wedding, that of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, now the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, was another occasion for some remarkable music. Here's a British cellist whose performance of Schubert's Ave Maria accompanied the signing of the register. Can you tell me his name?
Sheku Kane Mason.
That's correct. To mark the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II in 1953, Benjamin Britten composed an opera based on events in the life of her distant predecessor, Elizabeth I. What was the opera's title?
Gloriana.
That's right. More music now. Your question will come when you've heard it. That's the theme from the blockbuster Netflix TV series The Crown, which recounts the recent history of the British monarchy, not always without controversy. Who's the composer?
George Fenton?
No, it's Hans Zimmer. Oh. Finally, although not a member of the British royal family, one of the singers in the British top 10 in January 1957 was a princess. At the time the record was in the charts, she gave birth to her first daughter. Who was she?
Princess Grace of Monaco?
That's right, Grace Kelly. The song was True Love, on which she duetted with Bing Crosby. And so, Kathryn Johnson, in that round, you have scored 10 points, added to your previous 7. You now have 17 points. And so, at the end of round 2, here are our scores. Third, with 12 points, Shanine Salmon. Runner-up so far with 17 points is Kathryn Johnson. And in the lead with 18 points, it's Joe East. And so now it's all on the buzzer in our quick fire round. Remember, you get 1 point if you answer correctly. You lose a point if you answer incorrectly. And that quick fire round begins now. Queen's song, Don't Stop Me Now, references which Anglo-Saxon noblewoman who supposedly rode naked? Kathryn?
Lady Godiva.
That's right. In the song Love TKO, popularized by Teddy Pendergrass, what do the initials, and Joey says?
Technical knockout.
Yes. What's the commonly used title or nickname of Beethoven's Third Symphony? Kathryn?
Eroica.
Yes. Which instrument is celebrated internationally on the 88th day of the year? Shanine?
Piano.
You're right. Which 70s instrumental by the Edgar Winter Group is named after a novel? And Joey says?
Frankenstein.
Yes. The Women of Whitechapel is the subtitle of an opera by Ian Bell about which Victorian killer? Kathryn?
Jack the Ripper.
Yes. Directed by Sam Taylor, the forthcoming film biopic Back to Black is about Shanine?
Amy Winehouse.
Yes. Which British musician shares his stage name with a sharp double bend created to form an obstacle on a motor racing track? Kathryn says.
Chicane.
Oh, yes. In which new musical is Marty McFly transported to 19... And Shanine says.
Back to the Future.
Yes. Which traditional Italian folk dance was believed to cure the bite? Kathryn.
Tarantella.
Yes. In 1990, which Welsh bass baritone made his operatic debut? And Kathryn says.
Bryn Terfel.
Oh, yes. In 2020, which Cuban star became director of the Royal Ballet? Kathryn.
Carlos Acosta.
You're on a roll. Which London jazz club opened in a basement in Gerrard Street, Soho? Shanine?
Ronnie Scott.
You're right. Which word can follow post, steer, flügel, and krumm in the names? And Kathryn says.
Horn.
Yes. Respect, the Queen of Soul, is a 2020 book. Joe.
Aretha Franklin.
Yes. First performed in May 1962. Which work by Benjamin Britten was commissioned for the reopening of the newly built Coventry Cathedral? Kathryn.
War Requiem by Benjamin Britten.
You're correct. Which box from Greek mythology provided the title for hits? And Kathryn says.
Pandora's Box.
Yes. News of the World by the Jam is used as the theme, and Shanine says.
Mock the Week.
Yes. Which musician and model's nicknames include Glamazon, Supermodel of the World? Shanine?
RuPaul.
You're right. And finally, complete the title of Billy Ocean's 1977 hit, Red Light spells Joe East.
Danger.
Yes. Here are our scores. Third, with 18 points, Shanine Salmon. In second place with 22 points, Joe East. And our winner at 27 points, Kathryn Johnson. Very well done, Kathryn Johnson. We'll see you again in the final a fortnight from now. And my thanks and commiserations go to the other two of you for impressive performances. We'll be in Salford next week, where we'll meet the semi-finalists vying for the last of the places in the final. Until then, goodbye.